Hi, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, we've said goodbye to Alan, our Canadian expat explorer. Boy, he's not on a plane yet for Toronto, but he must leave today in order to be able to get his plane tomorrow. So yesterday we gave him his ticket. In case you didn't see that video, we gave him his ticket. Now the thing about this man, and Alan obviously is not his real name. His real name was quite difficult to pronounce. Still haven't done it yet, by the way, and why should I learn? It's brought out the best and the worst in people. Those people who see nothing but bad, boy, they'll see it in that man, and they really will. He's not the most handsome man, simply because he's allowed his front teeth to go bad, and so for some reason, if a person is not quite so attractive, they're much easier to be prejudiced against or bigoted with, and that's what I found with Alan. He has apparently at one time, now my friend and subscriber and mentor, Little Bit Rich, he didn't just throw the money out the window, okay, and we caught it. He made a sane decision. He wanted the focus to be on the girlfriend and that little baby, that little 2-year-old child. Now what would anybody think that the ideal scene would be for that girl now? Surely would be to be reunited with her family. Now I'm going to make some assumptions, and that's always a dangerous thing. I'm going to make some assumptions and say that we know for a fact that they as a couple lived with the family. Now, he said the family were crazy. Okay, he didn't beat about the bush on that. He said the family were crazy. At one point he said that his girlfriend was crazy too. It's a very, very mixed up scene. Now, if he lived with the family and they didn't like him, and judging by the way that people have responded to him here, even on looking at him on video, it seems like he might have come up against some heavy challenges there about making himself liked. He was certainly opinionated. He had his own way of looking at things, right or wrong. So I can see that there would have been some problems, especially with a typical Filipino family who were not really confrontational. They'll kind of look like this, and then it will get quietly spoken about with the girlfriend later, and everybody will make their opinion known. So what happened was that the girlfriend had her loyalties divided. Conflicting loyalties came about. She's with a man, she's committed to him, she's got a 2-year-old child. That's a fair commitment. Now, she was obviously forced to commit, forced to choose who she would be faithful to or loyal to. And if she's committed to that man as her partner, she's going to choose that man, and that is a fairly an obvious thing. It's a given. Now, the other thing is that we did hear that there was some abuse. Now, without going into it and creating a whole load of more negativity on the subject, that didn't go down too well either. Now, what does any family do when they think that one of their own is being abused, whether physically or verbally? if they think it's an abusive situation, they're gonna want that girl out of there, and that's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking that the parting of the ways came when something was seen that was not liked, something that was amiss, and they ended up moving out. Now here's what Little Bit Rich found, was that this man is not quite the loser that everybody thinks he is. He certainly made some terrific mess ups and has ended up with no money. Got to be honest here, I've done that myself, and I wonder how many of us would rather that not be known about them. I've messed up big time. I got to be honest, I've made every mistake in the book and some more. I wrote a few of them. So, are you going to be quite so brutal when you know that you've done it too? Remember I worked for a car company, and the boss there, when he was doing his training talks, he said, be careful how you point a finger. If you point a finger like this at somebody, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. In other words, probably for every mistake that you are pinpointing there, maybe even with hindsight, you probably made 3 or 4 yourself. So it seems that Mr. Allen had a business, ran a business, had money. Okay, same for me. I had money, I had a Rolls Royce, I had a Bentley, and I lost them. Okay, so had a 5-bedroom house, I lost it. Had a house in Florida, I lost it. I've made a lot of mistakes. And so if we can just calm down a little and see that this is not so far away from aspects of our own lives that we are tending to hide behind right now. Or maybe we're in the presence of an ascended being who has never made any mistakes. There's always that possibility. If that's true, please get in touch with me. I could do with a few tips about ascending myself. So that's what happened there. So they moved out, and the fall from grace was rather rapid and severe, and they ended up in that tiny little room with shared toilets and bathroom and all kinds of other stuff, and a cockpit outside going on, and all that goes with that. And being singled out as a foreigner and not doing too well. And so, yes, a lot of it started to go wrong. Here's my observation. When things have started to go wrong in my life, they don't just go a little bit wrong. They go horrendously wrong. You bet your life if you go out into your car and it doesn't start, you've ended up, you go and change the battery, you put the battery in and it starts, and then you've got a flat tire, and then when you get home you've lost your keys and you're locked out of the house. It just seems like everything goes wrong. Murphy goes, about Murphy, he was the one that said Murphy's Law, if it can go wrong, it will. Just seems to go crazy. Now, I'm taking it to an extent that maybe something like this happened. Now, let's get away from what my assumptions are, because obviously everybody has their own. But what I see as the only thread of sanity in the whole thing is that right from the start, my friend Little Bit Rich made a decision. And he stayed with that decision. He said, it's not important to me whether Alan is a scammer or not. One thing is clear. He needs to get back to Canada. And the scene will become a lot healthier when he is on the plane and gone. then we can take care of the girlfriend and the child, and we can do what we have to help to get her reunited with her family so that she can move back in with her family. And that was always the focus of Little Bit Rich. Now, when I got the storm of protest about Alan, and boy, there was a storm of protest, that he was a scammer, he was a thief, he was a dirtbag. Oh boy, it really got nasty. We deleted a lot of them, and when it got to there, I published a response that I got from Little Bit Rich, where he likened us in our voyage, if you like, through life as being either in a boat, being buffeted about by the waves and by the ocean, or the island. Would we be the boat or the island? If we're in the boat, then we got to take whatever comes at us, and we're battered about from this place to that place, and life is tough. If you are the island, you take the buffeting, you do not move, and you wait until the storm is over, and then you still are. You're the island. Well, Little Bit Rich remained the island. And we simply carried out his wishes. It's as simple as that. When people kept saying, "Terence, you're so naive," we were simply doing what we always do. Just to reiterate what that method is, we show a story. Show a story for human interest, something that interests us. Well, an expat adrift with no money, trying to raise money so that he can get a ticket back home because he is horrendously overstayed and will be thrown into a very nasty, probably very nasty or certainly very uncomfortable prison, ready for deportation, which actually once you go into prison, my understanding is that they not really interested anymore, and you're there. So he was on the verge of that and trying to get out of it, okay? And Little Bit Rich said, I'll help him to help the girl. And once he is out of the picture, we will be able to focus on helping the girl to reunite. So we tell the story. Then if someone says, I would like to help that person, as did 2 subscribers who came up with, I think, 17,000 plus pesos so that he could return to Manila and talk to immigration and to the embassy. And that's where the story started getting really complicated, okay? Have a look at the videos. So, did we make the judgment that we would help him? No, it's not our money. When someone says, we had a man, he sent $50 from Australia. He said, the 3 little girls that I see there just seemed adorable to me. Would you please take them out and buy them new dresses? Please find enclosed $50. Did we decide to do that? No, we didn't actually. We had already agreed that if anybody wants to help a certain story, project, they just need to get in touch with us. Right now, we are in the middle of setting up a fund for a helpless little girl who is about 3 months old, and her name is Faith. And we are going, any money that comes to us goes to Faith's surgery fund on your instructions. Alan got what he got on your instructions. The two fellow Canadians, I believe, whose name I don't have right now, who said, we want to help. And that's where the money went. It went to him on their instructions. Did I feel totally good about the guy? It didn't matter. We were asked to do something, to channel the blessing that someone sent, and that's what we did. And then Little Bit Rich took over, and he said, I will finance this man to get home. Let's focus our energy on his girlfriend so that she will be free to lead a normal life and she will go back to her family. That's what we did. Now, just to put this to bed for now, and incidentally, it's not over. He gets on that plane tomorrow, it's not over. He was absolutely emphatic in saying, I will repay every penny. Believe it or not, that's what he says he will do. Okay, we will see. Now, the other thing is that a lot of Canadians said he's giving Canadians a bad name. This is just simply not true. Because first of all, they said, well, he's not Canadian. Well, come on guys, make up your mind. Is he Canadian or isn't he? Now, we saw his passport, and it says on his passport that he is as Canadian as I am American. Got it? That's the situation. So now, over the next day, we will hope to hear from the girlfriend tomorrow, or maybe the next day, that he has gone. And actually, in 2 days, maybe 3 days' time, we will hear that he has landed. That's the hope. Let's try to keep faith and wish him good luck. We will gain nothing by wishing him bad luck. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Thank you for looking in. Bye for now.